Hello, welcome. This is our next lecture on the philosophy of Iqbal. Alright, in the previous lectures, we have discussed the concept of self, we have discussed the concept of God. In this lecture, we'll take up all the important portions remaining from the lecture, from the syllabus, right? So, without wasting any time, let's get started. For basically all modern Indian thinkers, this is needless to say, you have to remember some of the very important quotes and some of the important literature's name, right? The name of the books. So, an important literature of Iqbal is Bang Idara, then The Secrets of the Self, right? The Secrets of Selflessness. Okay, then another important book from him was the Message from East, right? And the others you can please Google. I mean, there's a whole list out there, but these are some of the important ones that you must know from the exams point of view. They can usually come in the match the following questions, right? Now, up till now, we have established some of the important facts pertaining to Iqbal's philosophy, right? So, I have told you that according to Iqbal, self is a series of activities, right? This is known. Now, Iqbal describes this self as in it acts and reacts as per the teleological teleological or the purpose driven method. Okay, not mechanical but purpose driven. Okay, the life of the ego, according to him, is constituted by feelings, is constituted by emotions, it is constituted by volitions, etc. And these all things together constitute our experiences in life. Is this clear? Now, under the concept of God, I told you that he believes in monotheism, that is, belief in one God only. Is this clear? One God only. According to him, some of the important characteristics of self. Now, this we didn't cover in the previous lectures. We did the important characteristics of God. For instance, he's omnipotent, he's all knowing, he's omnipresent, he's all loving, and etc. But some of the important characteristics of the self. Now, this is important, okay? So, Iqbal says that one of the most important characteristic of the self is first freedom, extremely important. We have touched upon freedom in the previous lectures when I told you that there are three main important aspects in Iqbal's philosophy. The first one is that men are chosen by God. The second one was that man is basically uh, let me write it here only. That first is man is chosen by God. The second one was man is the representative of God on earth. And the third one was that he's fully responsible for his own personality and he chooses it at his own perils, right? So this point, the third one, is actually actually telling us about the importance of the concept of freedom in his philosophy, right? Now the second important characteristic of the self is immortality. Is this clear? And very importantly, I've written here the first line that self is nothing but a series of activities. Is this clear? So this is important, extremely important from the exam's point of view. Please remember this, right? Now let's get going. The second important thing that we must remember is that his he relies on some really important literatures, texts, sources, etc. Right? The first amongst them is the Holy Quran. Within the Holy Quran, he comes up with very pertinent uh, uh, concepts and topics that he has taken in under his philosophy, such as the uniqueness of man, okay, the individuality of the man, okay. He takes up the concept of personal immortality. Okay, so these are some of the important things that he has taken in his philosophy directly from the Quran. You also must know the things that he has taken, right? Then you must know that I told you the previous lectures also. He says it is only the intuition that can, that can give us any info on the existence of God, or it is only intuition that can help us out pertaining to understanding the concept of God. He does not rely on the traditional proofs for the existence of God. Okay, why? Because these traditional proofs are a result or are a product of our intellect, which is by its very nature is limited. Is this clear? So he says the only way to apprehend, the only way to know the God's existence, or the only way we can experience God's existence is via intuition, right? So according to him, universe universe is of the nature of a creative force. Extremely important, right? Creative force. What do I mean by creative force? Is that it is not mechanical, right? This creative force is, we'll be studying this in a detailed way, in a detailed manner, but I told you in the very beginning also and in the previous lectures also that according to Iqbal's philosophy, let me write it here. According to Iqbal's philosophy, his main important expression, which sums up his entire philosophy in a sentence, is simply that, okay, Halaj anal haq. This is his, this is the crux of his philosophy. What this means is simply that I am the creative truth. So if you see, this is how he likes to describe I. Who is I here? I is the self. Okay, I am the creative truth. So in that sense, he understands the universe as a creative force. Is this bit clear? We'll be discussing this, but for the time being, just remember this.